Hello there. I'm going to show you guys how to use the Zapier integration. So what we do is I'm on a sign up campaign right now in the settings area. I'm going to scroll down, select my submission form, and this will determine which fields I need to map over to Zapier, which will then go to one of hundreds, if not thousands, of different email service providers and CRM providers. Virtually anything you need to connect to, you can use Zapier for. And for the most part, it's free. There are certain limitations, but not for certainly what I'm going to demo for you today. Your free account will work just fine. So I'm going to select my phone custom submission form, and I'm going to select Zapier from the list. And for the webhook URL, we're going to need to do something over at Zapier. So let's jump over, log into our Zapier account, and click Make a Zap. Now, you'll need to search for webhook, and you'll find it right here, Webhooks by Zapier. We are going to use a catch hook. You can just continue past this part. Now, we need to pick a sample to set up our Zap. So what we're going to do is copy this webhook that they provide and go back to Socialmonials. So remember it asked us for a webhook URL. Well, that's what we just copied. So I'm going to paste that right here and submit this for saving and deploying. Now we've got our microsite URL. So let's copy this and actually open up this campaign. I'm going to open this in a new window. So what it's going to expect us to do is submit a test. So let's call this test zap5 at test.com. Doesn't really matter what you put in here. Test name and test last. It's just going to use this data to set up our Zap so we can make sure the fields get mapped properly. And I'll submit. Great. Now that this has been submitted from our test campaign, I'm going to go back to Zapier and say, okay, I did this. There it is. When you see this, you know you're in good shape. It received our submission. Now we need to check the following. We need to add the action step on the left side. So we're already done with the first part, which is mapping the fields to Zapier. Now we need to tell Zapier what to do with this information. So we're going to choose an action step. Then we need to choose where we're going to send this. Let's use MailChimp just for a test. So what I want to do is add and update a subscriber when somebody submits to the campaign. Scroll down and save and continue. Okay, this is my Socialmonials MailChimp account that I've already authenticated. Save and continue. All right, first thing you'll want to do is pick a list. So it's reaching inside my MailChimp account, and I'm going to select my test list. What we need to do now is map fields. So what I like to do immediately is go down and refresh the fields. So what it's going to do is pull in all those custom fields that I added in Socialmonials to my form, which remember includes that phone number. So now I'm going to go back to the top and just start mapping my fields. It's surprisingly easy. It sounds challenging, but it's really not. When you click email, Zapier makes it really clear. So this data is what's in your Socialmonials form. So I'm going to select email for this. I don't care about mapping these fields. So what I'm going to do is under first name, I'm going to say first, last name, address. I'm not going to map the address for this demo, and phone number. I do have a phone number field. Beautiful. Okay, the rest of this I'm not going to map for this. And if there's anything you don't need to map, just skip it. Okay, now that we've mapped that, let's take a look. Looks good. I'm going to send my test to MailChimp Let's go see if it worked. Okay, now that you've sent the test, I'm going to jump over to my MailChimp account and let's check out my list. And the hardest part here is just navigating the MailChimp interface because they make it really hard to see the newest one. So I'm going to sort this and find my latest one, which is today, right now. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. I chose my socialmonials list. I wanted to get my test list. Now, I'm going to repeat that exercise. Beautiful. Okay. So test name and test last looks good. My email address, remember testzap5, that looks good. So once that looks good, go back here and let's finish. You did it. Now just name it and you'll always be able to use this Zap for that form. I'm going to turn my Zap on and let's view how it looks on our dashboard. So now on my dashboard, I've got this really nice Socialmonials Zap that I can use for any future campaigns. The only time you'd want to create a new Zap is when you're using a different campaign. So basically over in the settings, you can use this same webhook every time you use a form that includes those fields. If you create a custom form for a new client, for example, on a new campaign, and they want to add questions about, is it okay if we send you material B? Is it okay if we send you email notification C? And you've got separate fields that you need to map for that client, you're going to need to create a new Zap and just repeat this process. You can store unlimited Zaps and use them for unlimited different campaigns. That's it. Thank you.